Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Tell Me About Your Dog. I'm Sam. I'm a CVT out of Florida, a pet insurance advocate, and lover of all things senior pets. The goal of this podcast is plain and simple. Hear all about your dog and what makes them special. I have a very special guest on with me today. She is the CEO of Skona Pet Food. Please welcome Teju to the set. How are you? Thank you for coming on. Tell me about your dog.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sam. It's really a pleasure being here.
Aw. Tell us a little bit about you.
So I'm originally from India. I was born and raised in Mumbai. I came here for my undergrad, ended up staying for my master's as well. And that's where I met my now husband. So we've been dating since 2010. And after our graduation, we just moved to Boston for work. And one thing led to another. We now have a family. We have 2 dogs. We have a toddler. And yeah, life is a bit busy and chaotic.
It's chaos all the time in your house.
Chaos all the time in my house. Yes, definitely.
So speaking of your 2 little dogs, I'm going to ask you, Teju, tell me about your dogs.
So my older dog's name is Skipper, and he is true to his personality. He is literally the captain of our house. He is very independent. He is bold. He's charming, and he'll make sure that you fall in love with him. That's his personality. And my other dog, she's Kona, and my actual company is named on them, like Kona and Skipper. They are named Scona. That's the name of my brand.
Love it.
She's very calm, confident, observant, and she's just a gentle giant to my toddler. She keeps on looking out for him and make sure he's perfectly all right. So yeah, so they are basically they come together perfectly. So
They're your little yin yang.
yes, they are definitely yin yangs. Yes.
So let's talk about Skona. What inspired you to get into the pet space? What inspired the company?
So it's definitely Skipper. So when we adopted him almost 10 years ago, we started him on the commercial food and right. So, but it did not set well with him. He to a point where he started having bloody diarrhea. So food was definitely not setting the commercial food. And I just started, doing my own research. I reached out to pet nutritionists back then. There were not many. And I found this one person, and then she gave me the base recipes and things like that. And I just did my own research, and it was like a rabbit hole for me. The amount of like the things that go in the dog food, and how much aware that you need to be for at least the nutrition wise. So, and I'm Indian, so herbs and spices are integral part of our food and culture. They go into our food, they go into our beauty routines, they go into our rituals. They also act as a first aid kit. The other day, my toddler, he cut his lip open and we washed the wound, but we put turmeric on it because it's antifungal, it's antibacterial. And even if he eats it, it's fine because it's turmeric, right? So, and since then it's almost 10 years that I'm making my own dog food. And I'm a pet certified health coach. So I can certify my own recipes and everything. So, I've been adding herbs and spices to the food, and it has made a huge amount of difference. Yeah, so that's actually Skipper's tummy trouble inspired Scona. So he told us what we need to do before even we had a business plan for Scona. So that's how it started. Yeah.
And that's awesome because you used your Indian roots to inspire some of the recipes in the dog food. So what are some of the spices and herbs that you most commonly use?
So turmeric is one, neem is the other one. Ashwagandha is widely popular known now. These are all Ayurvedic herbs and roots, and Ayurveda has been part of our daily life for generations to come. It is a 5,000-year-old science, proven science, and it's a kind of a preventive medicine. We are not saying no to the conventional medicine, but it has to go hand in hand with the preventive medicine. So these are some of the roots that we heavily use, like ginger, neem, like I said, and also mint, coriander, and stuff like that. So, it has some, and we are literally trying to target, with Scona at least, we are trying to target the gut microbiome diversity of your pet. So if your gut is healthy and happy, you are healthy and happy individual and a pet. So, yeah.
Very cool. Tell us about a little bit your transition to America. How was that transition for you?
Honestly, it hasn't transitioned too much. Like I just brought my Indian roots here, and it has expanded to my circle, to a point where people are so much expecting, and they are accepting of my culture, and that's one of the things that I'm trying to bring to the pet industry as well. So we would be the first Ayurvedic pet nutrition brand out there in the pet aisle. So yeah, I'm just getting all the good wisdom and everything from my grandmother, my great grandmother, and everything, and just applying it over here. When I asked my grandmother, we adopted a dog and everything, because we had dogs growing up. We had dogs, we had cats, we had birds, we had fishes, everything. So, and she's like, why are you buying food? Like, how can you say like that's actually a good food if it's sitting on a shelf for more than 6 months, 7 months and stuff like that? I'm like, no, you don't know about it. Like, this is how it's done. This is balanced and stuff like that.
But she made her own food for the dogs.
And when things got haywire, she's like, I told you. I told you this. So that's how I went back to my roots again, But yeah, I just got, as an Indian and as an Indian pet parent, the Ayurveda and the roots and the herbs and the spices are such a integral part of our food and culture that it's hard for us to get away from it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
How have you seen the shift in people who feed their dogs a traditional diet to transitioning over to Scona? Do they see a quick difference in their pet's behavior and their digestive health?
Definitely. So one of our KPI is, my dogs is itching less. So that's how we measure our success. You're itching less, you're looking, there are less hot spot, you have your good gut, so not loose stool. So they are more accepting of the fact that, a more diverse brand is coming out. And right now, everybody is trying to go to authentic brands. The more authentic you are, the widely accepted you are right now. So yeah, I got a very warm welcome from everybody. So I'm really, really, grateful for that. Yeah.
Good. So you've had a positive experience working in the pet industry.
Definitely. Yeah. And pet industry is such a small industry, to be honest with you, but it's such a welcoming and tight industry that almost everybody knows everybody. Eventually you end up knowing everybody. It's a fun industry to be in. Eventually you get to work with animals, so.
What better place to work?
Exactly. Exactly.
Let's go back to Skipper and Kona. How are they at home with your toddler?
Well, Skipper, we adopted Skipper when it was just me and my husband, and we were dating at that time. So he is our first child. So he has that first child syndrome. Everything revolves around me.
It's his world and you're just living in it.
Exactly. That's how it is. And that's how he is right now too. So Kona and my son, his name is Vedant. So they have to literally fit into his world. There was one time, Sam, I would not kid. We were watching TV and Skipper was sitting with us. And Kona was on her bed and he wouldn't allow Kona or my son to come near to me. So they both were hanging out on Kona's bed and Skipper was sitting with us. So that's how the dynamic is in our house.
Skipper had to remind you he's still the firstborn child at the end of the day.
Definitely. Yes, definitely.
So how do you balance out being a mom, an entrepreneur, a business owner, a dog mom? How do you find balance in your life?
I don't have one at this point.
At least she's honest.
Yeah, at least I'm honest. I do not have one. So I don't sleep much because my kid is still young and, business is in still growing phases, but it's fun. At least I love what I do. So that helps quite a bit.
So let's talk a little bit about your Ayurveda. Give us a little bit of an explanation of what it is. What does the practice mean?
Definitely. So like I said, it's a 5,000-year-old science. It's a proven science. It talks about balance. It talks about food as being the first form of medicine. You are what you eat. So if you eat crappy food, you're going to have a crappy health and crappy mood. So everything starts from the food. So and Ayurveda talks a lot about seasonal eating. Certain foods and fruits and vegetables are supposed to be eaten in certain seasons. Like cucumber is a cooling food. So it has to be eaten in summer, versus the warmer foods are supposed to be like turmeric and ginger are actually the warm spices. They're supposed to be eaten a lot during colder months. So it talks a lot about, seasonality, and it talks about your bodily elements, and it talks about your digestive fire, how you have to keep your digestive fire active. Like what are the foods that you should be eating for those to keep that digestive fire active. So yeah, and rotating protein, you have to basically your plate should look like a rainbow color. So it should have some kind of a green, some yellow, some red, some white. That's the food that you should be eating, and not just you. I mean, your pet as well. When you eat healthy, everyone in your home eats healthy, including your pets. Yeah.
So it's literally the practice of balancing your food, your mind, your body, your overall health.
Overall health, because the food, it just not nourishes your body, it also nourishes your soul. So, it has to be in harmony with each other. So it's just about the energies. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you see a difference between food that you grew up eating and that you eat in your Indian culture versus food that we eat and we feed our pets?
Sorry for saying that, but yes, I definitely do. Yes, I do.
We need to hear it. Okay.
So there is a lot of less processed food that we eat. There is a lot, and we eat quite of a balancing food like bitter, sour, sweet. And I know the rice. We are a heavy rice eating country, but rice is definitely an essential part of your diet. It has to come like good rice. The good starch has to come from from either rice or quinoa or red rice, whatever you eat that. So yeah, I do see the big distinction between. And now the people are actually they are starting to question like is this something that we need to really eat? Like kombucha has become probiotics has become a huge rage now, right? So yeah, definitely people are starting to question now. Yeah.
Yeah, it only took, half the population having stomach problems, half the dogs having issues with their skin and their digestive tract to say, wait a minute, maybe we're not doing something right here.
But hey, better safe than sorry. So,
Exactly.
That's what it is. Yeah.
What do you hope that your company will do for the pet world?
Well, we want to bring the diverse ingredients to the pet aisle. So, because it helps with your gut microbiome diversity. So we want to bring those diverse ingredients to there. And we would definitely want to meet pet parents where they are. So feeding or eating is such a personal choice. What we eat or what we make sure our pets eat is such a personal choice. So we are not in the business of changing anybody's habits. We just want to meet pet parents where they are. So, you can feed them whatever you have. With my supplements, with my Ayurvedic supplements, you can just put the 1 scoop of it on their food and, you'll balance their diet that way. Mm-hmm. So that's why I want to make this the very easy transition for the pet parents. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, that is such an incredible story that you have with your roots and how you have brought your culture to America, immersed it into your company with the influence of your own pets and your family. So that is an incredible story. And sorry, I'll start that over in a second. Talking for 2 hours straight.
Oh, I know.
So Teju, where can people find your products?
So we are primarily an e-commerce company. So you can find it on our website. It's called skonapetfood.com. Currently, we have treats. And the reason we have those organ meat treats is because organ meats are nature's multivitamin. They are rich in vitamin A, B complex, zinc, magnesium. So those are our treats right now. And like I said, I'm launching the pet supplement Ayurvedic line. You can find that on our website and you can find me on Amazon. So yeah, those are the DTC channels that we are on right now.
If you think your pet would benefit from this kind of transition, please visit Skona Pet Food and check out their products. Teju, thank you so much for taking time to come on Tell Me About Your Dog. It's been a real fun time having you on.
Thank you, Sam, so much. It was my pleasure.
Thank you. That is all for this episode of Tell Me About Your Dog. Please be sure to follow the show on YouTube and Spotify at Tell Me About Your Dog podcast, and follow us on Instagram, where I would love to hear more stories you want to hear and more topics you want to discuss.